Cardin. I want to thank the students for preserving the legacy of Parren P.J. Mitchell. He was an incredible figure in Baltimore and Maryland politics. The first black to be elected from Maryland to the House of Representatives. What he did for our community, chair of the Small Business Committee in the House of Representatives, a mentor to me when I was first elected to the House of Representatives. He was an incredible figure. Black history is American history, and Black history is Maryland history, and you're preserving it. Thank you for everything you're doing for our community, for future generations to understand the difference that one person could make.
I go way back with Parren. He was a colleague and a dear beloved friend. So when you think about his residence was there in Baltimore, and when he would go to Washington, D.C., he always made his way back home. So that Carrollton Avenue home is very special. It's on a very special block, just a few doors down from where his house is on the corner. But in the middle of the block was the first bishop of the Roman Catholic Church was there, John Carroll. So you never saw him as a congressman being distant from you. You saw him as a congressman being among you. He gave me one time. I went to a Congressional Black Caucus event, and he had a medallion on his lapel. It was a shape of the African continent with the shape of Black America inside. And I never forget, I went to Parren. I said, "Hey, Parren, man, that's an amazing piece." And he pulled it off. He took it off and gave it to me. And I still, to this day, have that Pearl pen, and I wear it in my public engagements. When I look at Parren Mitchell House, when I look at the Upton Mansion, when I look at the PS 103, Justice Thurgood Marshall, I look at the Juanita Mitchell Law Office, I look at the home of Clarence and Juanita Mitchell, I look at the home of John Marshall and John Murphy and Carl Murphy. I see this work being a continuum of ensuring that the historic properties in Upton, Marble Hill are restored and brought to their prominence as they were in the past, and they should be in the future. Nationally, people want to eliminate Black history, want to act as if Black history did not occur. But we had the benefit of people who were shapers of the African-American history story. And Parren Mitchell was definitely one of those. So when you think about restoring his home so that people know that he lived in the community, he served the community, he functioned on behalf of the community, I think it sends a message to future generations that you can serve right where you are, and that you have presence, and that you have significance, and that you can make an impact with the gifts and skills that you have. So restoring his home, I think, makes that kind of a statement.
I think by restoring the house and bringing more attention to it, we bring more attention to the really inspiring work of Parren Mitchell and his work on the civil rights movement. And in my view, it's not just important to know the history because of what happened. It's important to know the history because it informs the way forward, because a lot of the challenges we're facing now when it comes to ensuring that the Voting Rights Act has teeth is an ongoing challenge for our country. So I think by making sure that we renovate the Parren Mitchell home, more people will learn about his important civil rights work and will recognize that this is an ongoing challenge for our country. What I believe is that by providing funds to renovate and restore these places that are so important to our history, we will help educate the next generation. We'll bring more, hopefully, tourism to West Baltimore and people who want to come learn about this civil rights history, and that'll bring more funds to West Baltimore. And as I say, the past is prologue. And so by making sure that we renovate and restore these really important, historically significant places, we also help light the way to the future. I believe I have this sort of vision, all of us working together can really let Baltimore know, let the Maryland know, let the country know what an important role West Baltimore has played in the civil rights history of America. And the Mitchell family and Parren Mitchell were right at the center of that.
Significance of his move and remodeling that house is it brings a new sense of revival to the community, because around this square you see the decadence, and you see the destruction from the opiate crisis. And Parren Mitchell was one who fought for human rights, civil rights, economic rights. And so that house being remodeled, revived, is a symbol of the renaissance that can happen in this community. Hopeful that the planning committee will be able to do some really good work in that house, that will reach out to our young people, that will be a convergence place where people can plan activities, a place of synergy where community can meet and make decisions on what we want to do for our community. So that's the power that I think resides in the impact that will happen here.
There aren't that many row houses in Baltimore that are of this stature that are in this good of a condition. But the stairs are intact, a lot of the ornate detailing and the window trims, the shutters, the fireplaces. There's so much great historic fabric that's still intact in this building. And it tells such a great story and is connected to Parren Mitchell, who was Maryland's first Black congressman. So being able to elevate the house and the story is something that I'm excited about. And when you walk into it, it feels fancy. Like it feels like, oh, this was a very stately and important home. And I think oftentimes when people think of row houses in Baltimore, they don't think of those types of row houses. And so I'm excited to be able to help restore this building back to that stately manner and be able to allow other people to come in and experience that feeling of grandeur. Installing an addition on the rear of the building, we did do a number of studies to look at putting elevators somewhere inside the existing footprint of the building, but our studies discovered that we would actually end up destroying too much of the historic fabric if we were to put an elevator within the footprint of the existing building. So we are proposing to build a small addition off the rear of the building that would have the elevator and connect to all the levels, and then add some lifts on the second and third floors to accommodate some of those level changes.